I have the turn, so I'll start off by summarizing last class. So last class we talked about unavatar kal lila or unmanifested lila, and in this type of lila is when Shri Krishna plays his lila without being manifested. The present time is known as the time of non-incarnation. In the time of non-incarnation, Shri Krishna is omnipresent as he remains everywhere. However, this means that all people cannot experience Shri Krishna during this time. And in order to experience Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, as well as the scriptures, tells us to follow the course of devotion. And this can be seen in the stories of the 84 to 252 Vaishnava Vartas, as all of the devotees experienced Shri Krishna in the time of non-incarnation. Should I continue?
Yeah.
There is always incarnation time in Pushti Bhakti Marg. The present time is generally known as non-incarnation time, but for the devotees who are blessed by Shri Krishna and perform Shri Krishna's service are blessed to have incarnation time even in non-incarnation time of Shri Krishna. And so, to summarize, this means that in Pushti Bhakti Marg, if a devotee is blessed by and performs the devotion of Bhagwan, they can still experience Bhagwan even in the time of non-incarnation.
It means when we start performing Seva of Shri Thakurji at our place, we never feel absence of Bhagavan. As we discussed in the last class, that just because we don't have that intensified devotion in our heart for Bhagavan, therefore we are not able to experience Bhagavan in the way the Chaurasi Vaishnava used to. As we find in the story of a lady Vaishnava, she had the feeling of being a mother of Bhagavan, and she considered Bhagavan as her child, and even Bhagavan had the same feeling for her. So when a vegetable vendor used to come around her house, Bhagavan would shout from the house, "Please, you stop, my mother hasn't bought the vegetables yet." So the vendor used to think that this is the voice of such a sweet child, but I am not able to see him. Bhagavan would hide whenever she used to come, but daily he used to ask her to stop so that the lady Vaishnava could buy the vegetables. So in this story we can understand that how Bhagavan behaves. It means he just behaved as if he was a child of that lady. So when we have such an intensified devotion and love towards Bhagavan, we never feel the absence of Bhagavan. Bhagavan never leaves his devotee. And therefore the devotee never feels that this is the period of non-incarnation of Bhagavan, because we never feel the absence of Bhagavan.
Shri Raja. Obstructions in experiencing Shri Krishna. From the viewpoint of Bhagwan, as we have seen above, realization and unrealization of Bhagwan depends upon the solemn will of Bhagwan himself. Similarly, considering from the viewpoint of the being, ignorance of Bhagwan's greatness as well as lack of devotion stands as a wall between him and Krishna. Very often it is experienced that people cannot recognize things lying before them or cannot properly evaluate situations they face because of insufficient knowledge, lack of attention, or mind overpowered by sentiments of desire, anger, etc. Same thing happens in the matter of experiencing Shri Krishna. As said earlier, Shri Krishna himself dwells in the home of his devotees in the form of deity. However, it can be seen that all devotees do not experience Shri Krishna in person. Why? Just as a person who wears colored spectacles can't see real colors of an object, but can see true colors by removing such spectacles, similarly, devotees cannot realize Shri Krishna in person until love for Shri Krishna and the knowledge of his magnanimity is not awakened in him and begins to have experience of Shri Krishna as he develops love and devotion for Shri Krishna and the knowledge of his greatness. In brief, realization of Bhagwan is subject to his acceptance of being. When Shri Krishna chooses the being as his devotee, the being attains ability to realize Shri Krishna. On the other hand, Shri Krishna too becomes subject of devotion of his devotee. So to summarize, from the viewpoint of Bhagwan, only devotees who are graced by Bhagwan can truly realize his greatness, but from the viewpoint of the being, things like ignorance and lack of devotion can hinder the being from reaching Shri Krishna. And so in this Pushti Bhakti Marg, all of the devotees that perform the worship of Shri Krishna, however, do not experience him all the time. And so the metaphor of the colored glasses in this situation shows how we do not realize the true greatness of Bhagwan, but when a person wears the glasses, they cannot see the objects in its real color, but when they remove the glasses, they can see the true color of the object. And so similarly, a devotee cannot experience Shri Krishna because of the lack of devotion, love, and the knowledge of his greatness.
So, as I told that when we read the stories of 84 Vaishnavas, we feel that Bhagwan was just present in front of them all the time. Like we saw the example of this Kshatrani, same way when we see the story of Gajandavan, Bhagwan used to play with him, and Bhagwan used to sit on his back like a small child, and that's how we experienced Bhagwan. So what we feel is that what can be the reason for not being able to experience Bhagwan. So Mahaprabhuji explains that the problem is that we don't have that sort of devotion towards Bhagwan. It means we are just involved in seva of Sri Thakurji, considering it as our duty, but we don't have love for Bhagwan as it has to be. It means we are still, till the date, we are interested in our family and friends and our social relations and whatever is going on around this world. We are not that much concentrated upon Bhagwan, and therefore we are overpowered by the sentiments of desire and anger. We lack the knowledge also, lack of attention, and these are the reasons because of which we are not able to experience Bhagwan. It means whom we are serving at our home, in our place, is Krishna himself, but we are not able to experience him because we don't have that much devotion. We even lack the sufficient knowledge for Bhagwan. Same way, we do have some social desires in our heart, and because of these points, we are not able to experience the divine form of Bhagwan. And even Bhagwan doesn't reveal himself in front of us because we lack love towards Bhagwan. So each and every relation is from both the sides. So here we expect that Bhagwan must appear in front of us, but we don't see that we are not yet devoted towards Bhagwan. So even this relation is from both the sides. If we love Bhagwan too much, Bhagwan would reveal himself in front of us. And if we don't love him, then even he won't reveal himself in front of us. Continue.
Why is Bhagwan not worshipped everywhere? According to the scriptures, there is no place in the universe where Brahma, Shri Krishna, is not present. However, it is forbidden to worship him anywhere. The reason for this interdiction can be understood easily with the help of an illustration. We bow down to elders to show respect to them. Anatomically speaking, elderliness of a person does not lie only in his legs, but it also lies from his head to his toe. However, even man will not bow to the head of the elder instead of bowing at the feet. In the same way, a child who bows at the feet of his elder is a child from his head to his feet. However, his elder will bless him not on his feet, but on his head. This is the question of etiquette. This illustration shows that as we consider etiquettes in our social life, similarly, scriptural etiquettes should be considered in the matters of worship of the deity, etc. Scriptures have prescribed a rule to worship deities in idol or stone, metal or wood, in a picture, etc. Various other objects, such as the sun, the fair, also have been prescribed for the worship of deity in the scriptures. But in the path of devotion, idol of Sri Krishna made of stone, metal, or wood, or the picture form is preferred for the service. I have a question. So in the last paragraph, what does it mean by various other objects such as the sun, the fair, have also been prescribed?
This means that if we feel that it is possible that Bhagavan is not present here, it means as we are not able to experience him, or Bhagavan doesn't reveal his form in front of us, a devotee may feel that Bhagavan is not present there. But according to scriptures, in each and every material, Bhagavan is present, but we are not able to experience him. Now, it means that this is the principle that Bhagavan is present everywhere. So now we would feel, someone may argue that why to worship in a particular idol of stone or metal or wood or in a picture. All the objects which are around us, like the sun, the fair, everything, each and everything is Bhagavan himself, because in universe there is nothing which is different from Bhagavan. So why can't we worship a sun as a form of Bhagavan? Why must we worship Bhagavan in a particular idol or a picture only? Understood you?
Yeah. But what does the meaning of the fair mean?
I need to ask that. I feel that this is something mistake here.
Okay.
I feel so. I'll check from the text.
Okay.
Yeah. So the main concept is that even in spite of being understanding the presence of Bhagavan in each and every material in this universe, including us, it means even I am a form of Bhagavan, all of you are form of Bhagavan, and whoever we see and find around us, everything is a form of Bhagavan. But still, as the example is given, that when we want to show respect to our elders, we bow down in front of them. Now, when we bow down in front of them, we touch their legs. But it doesn't mean that elderliness of that person just lies in his legs and not on his head, but we don't touch the head. Same way, it is just like an etiquette, and same way in the devotional path also, when we are not even able to relish the divine form of Bhagavan, we worship the idol. We must not say it as an idol, but just for understanding here, that for in that particular Swarup, we worship Bhagavan. In a particular picture, we worship Bhagavan. And as the devotee wants to worship Bhagavan, he wants to express his devotion towards Bhagavan, Bhagavan himself appears in that particular Swarup and Chitra, in the picture, in a painting, or whatever we do worship. The next topic is about the Bhava Pratishtha, the method which is explained by Shri Gosainji. Before performing seva, we have to go through the Bhava Pratishtha. There Shri Gosainji explains that when a devotee, with being blessed by Mahaprabhuji and considering himself a humble disciple of Mahaprabhuji, when he decides to follow all the principles explained by Mahaprabhuji and perform seva according to them, Mahaprabhu Gosaiji there explains that Bhagavan himself appears in that Swarup. And Bhagavan feels that I want to accept the devotion from this particular Jeev, and therefore I am here. So from that very moment, Shri Gosaiji explains that now we must not address this as Swarup, but he is Krishna himself. So because of our devotion towards him, and because we are disciples of Mahaprabhuji and want to perform devotion of Bhagavan, being his disciple, his loyal disciple, so if we are ready to perform devotion as per the explanations and instructions given by Sri Mahaprabhuji, Bhagavan explains the devotion from that person, and Bhagavan appears in front of him for accepting his devotion. So when we start perform seva of Shri Thakurji at our place, he is Krishna himself. We must never feel that he is someone else, or this is just an idol or just a picture. So in that Swarup, Bhagavan himself appears because considering ourselves being blessed by Sri Mahaprabhuji, because Bhagavan had promised Mahaprabhuji that whomever you will provide Brahma Sabandha Diksha, I will accept that person as my own. I will ignore all the faults which are in him and will accept his devotion because he is your disciple. So if we remain loyal to Sri Mahaprabhuji, if we follow all the rules and regulations and instructions which are explained by Sri Mahaprabhuji, Bhagavan blesses us with his presence. And after that, Bhagavan always remains at our place. Till that day, we remain loyal to Sri Mahaprabhuji. The very day we break the rules, the very day we leave the Maryada of Sri Mahaprabhuji, or stop following the instructions given by Sri Mahaprabhuji, Bhagavan doesn't remain in our house. He is not supposed to be at our house, because the two conditions for the appearance of Bhagavan are, the first one is intensified devotion towards Bhagavan, and second one is to be a disciple of Sri Mahaprabhuji. So when we are requesting Bhagavan to be in our house for accepting our seva, being a disciple of Sri Mahaprabhuji, it is presupposed that you are supposed to follow each and every rule and regulation explained by Mahaprabhuji. So the first point is not available in us. It means we don't have intensified devotion towards Bhagavan. So because of that reason, Bhagavan is not forced to be present in our house. But with the second reason, when we go in front of Bhagavan by considering or addressing ourselves as the devotee of Bhagavan, it is presupposed that we are supposed to accept each and every rule and regulation which is explained by Mahaprabhuji. So if we are breaking those instructions, then Bhagavan is not forced to be in our house, because in any of the way we are not capable for performing devotion of Bhagavan.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the idol or the deity that we are requesting Shri Krishna Bhagavan to reincarnate to, should that idol or deity be blessed by Sri Mahaprabhuji, or a disciple of him first?
See, in the method of Bhava-pratishtha, Shri Gosaiji explains that when we are requesting Bhagavan to reincarnate in the form of Swarupa, during that vidhi, during that process, we have to keep the Guru keeps his hand on the heart of on the chest of the Swarupa, and speaks the Mangalacharan, and feels the presence of Sri Mahaprabhuji and his blessings, and then with the blessings of Sri Mahaprabhuji, he requests Bhagavan to reincarnate in the form of the Swarup which devotee has chosen for seva. So with that feeling, Bhagavan reincarnates in the Swarup, and during that period the 8 slok from Bhagavat, which are spoken when we celebrate Janmashtami on the midnight of Janmashtami, the 8 slok are spoken in front of Bhagavan, and then we celebrate the incarnation of Bhagavan, the feeling that as Bhagavan incarnated in the house of Nandaji and Yashodaji, same way each and every year Bhagavan incarnates in our house also for accepting our devotion. So the same 8 sloks are recited while doing the pratishtha of Sri Thakurji. It is known as Bhav Pratishtha. And because of our feeling and with the blessings of Sri Mahaprabhuji, Bhagavan reincarnates in the form of that Swarup.
Okay, thank you. It is clear now.
Fine. Anyone else? Any question? Fine. You may continue.
So I have a question. So is Bhav Pratishtha a must in our sampradaya?
See, in our sampradaya, pratishtha is just a sort of feeling and requesting Bhagavan. The ritual is not important. I mean, it is not so that if we are not performing that particular ritual, Bhagavan will not be accepting our service. It is not so. When with love and devotion by accepting Mahaprabhuji as our Guru, when even without pratishtha, if we are starting the seva of Sri Thakurji, Bhagavan would be accepting that seva, considering the devotion he has from the devotee. But the importance of Bhav Pratishtha, the first thing is that the Vidhi is explained and justified by Sri Gosaiji himself. So the problem is that when we are a disciple of the Sampradaya, we have to be in the contact of a Guru. Now, for current period, it is a different thing that we are not able to find a proper Guru because the Gurus himself are not following the orders of Sri Mahaprabhuji. But ideally, the disciple has to come in the contact of his Guru, take the Diksha from him, he must get initiated from him, and after that he must understand his duties from his Guru, and after that, as per the instructions and guidance given by his Guru, he must start performing seva of Sri Thakurji. But for example, if we leave the system open, that whoever wants to perform seva in whatever sort you can do, then it will create a mess and a chaos in Sampradaya. Because for example, if I am not aware about the method of performing seva, or I am not able to understand the instructions given by Sri Mahaprabhuji for performing seva, what I would be doing will not be proper. So if I don't go in the come in the contact of a Guru and understand the things properly, it is quite possible that we do commit some mistakes which will not be good for us and for Bhagavan also. So therefore, the Bhav Pratishtha is a process by which we can come in the contact of our Guru. Our Guru can explain us all the duties which have to be followed in future, and then as per his guidance and instructions, we start performing seva in our house. But Mahaprabhuji in Sadhan Prakaran even explains that, for example, if we are not able to find a proper Guru for us, it means a Guru having all the necessarily if he is not able or he is not following the orders given by Sri Mahaprabhuji, then it is not compulsory that we must have a Guru. Mahaprabhuji explains that if I am not able to find a proper Guru for me, I can start performing seva of Sri Thakurji in my house, because if Bhagavan is present in the whole universe, why won't he be present in the Swarup we have chosen for performing his seva? So it is not so that without pratishtha, Bhagavan would not be incarnating in that Swarup, or Bhagavan would be absent in that. Because if Bhagavan is present in the whole universe, Bhagavan is present in that Swarup also. but the only reason was to maintain a proper system so that a person doesn't get so much independent that he would do everything as per his wish without consulting anyone. So therefore a system is provided that we have to be in the contact of a guru. Guru would explain us the method, and as per the guidance and instructions of our guru we would start performing seva. Otherwise anyone randomly, without understanding the principles of Sri Mahaprabhuji, would start performing seva, and it would be a aparadha from his side also, and a parishram for Bhagavan. But if we are devoted towards Bhagavan, Bhagavan does accept our devotion in spite of not being going through Bhava Pratishtha. But the prescribed system is explained by Gosainji himself, and therefore it is quite better to follow that.
Okay, it is clear now.
Anyone else? Fine, then let us conclude here today. We'll be continuing tomorrow.